Greetings, my fellow exiles. It is the Ash Heritor. Welcome back to Path of Exile 2. We're going to be continuing on today into Act 3, at long last. So, in order to do that, we need to talk to Asala. We'll be traveling to a place called the Sand-Swept Marsh.
Welcome.
Well, let's first ask about the fate of the Faradun.
Jaman Ra is back where he belongs. I have given him a proper death. By removing his head, I acknowledged him. Though he was never a king, despite what the Faradun may choose to believe. Those who have survived this war will be given a choice. It would be a waste to kill the Faradun who have proven themselves in battle. They may choose to be acknowledged, to have a place at the table, or they can remain outcasts. Either way, it is time to write a new chapter. Who knows what the future holds? After what has happened here, the other Akaras must consider joining the Ardura. I intend to be persuasive.
He's uniting them. Even giving an option to reunify with the Faradun.
You have your orders.
That could be good. Unified Marakath presenting a face of opposition to the beast.
Who goes there?
I think, yeah, there's nothing else to speak of. By the way, I do have some new gear. I did do some crafting. I brought a couple of other characters up to this level as well, and of course was able to get plenty of currency and other gear that I found. So I do have a different robe, which you can see the stats of right here, which is pretty good. I have replaced the scepter with this crystal focus here. So no more skeletons for me, but that's fine. Don't think the gloves are new. The belt is new. It's a pretty good belt. 99 max life. It's not too shabby. This ring is new as well, which is also a pretty good one. And this amulet would be incredibly good on a minion summoner, but I am not a minion summoner. However, the rest of the stats aren't bad either. So just checking my stats here. My resistances are not great, to be sure. So we're gonna have to work on that. These boots could be better. The wand, I need to find an upgrade for, but hey, I'm getting some extra chaos damage here from the focus. But anyways, let's move on into the next act.
Yes,
Travel.
we can take you to the edge of the desert. Then we will continue to track the beast. You must find a way to contain it. When we find out where it is being taken, we will seek you out. Until then, may the winds ever be calm on your paths.
Alright. So it seems like we're probably going to...
The beast has grown too powerful. We can no longer contain it through mortal means. There was once an empire that embraced corruption.
Uh-oh.
They studied it, mastered it, and became the greatest civilization the world has ever known. But it led to their destruction. Our allies will continue the pursuit of the beast, but we shall undertake a different search. We must go to the ruins of the Vaal Empire, in search of a weapon against the coming cataclysm.
Okay. Beautiful. Into the lands of the Vaal. We've sort of been there in parts of Act 2 of the base game. And then in the later, I think, Act 6, you go to the lands of the Vaal. I mean, you're in the Azmiri jungles, and that was technically controlled by the Vaal, so you see some Vaal temples, but you don't actually get to, like, a proper Vaal city or anything. I do want to look at the map here. Okay, so we're down here. Sand-swept marsh. When the city flooded, the peasants fled quickly, but not quickly enough. Okay. So we have root dredge here. The trees move. You best move as well. Auroch campfire. Don't be stirring up the Auroch. I don't know what the Auroch are. And the hanging tree. We give sites like that plenty of space. The hanging tree, huh? Okay. And then here, the Ziggurat encampment is where we're going to be headed to. Only a small crown of stone remains above the deadly waters. So is this lake then the flooded city? There does appear to be a dam here. And some sort of lock system. Interesting. The Vaal were quite technologically advanced. They're obviously inspired by the Aztecs. Aztec fantasy. Or Aztec-inspired things in fantasy. That just, it needs to be more of a thing. That is such an underutilized civilization when it comes to fantasy inspiration. The Aztecs were terrifying, but also awesome. They built a fucking city in the middle of a lake, artificially, like, created islands and everything. It's, and they did this without knowledge of metal. I mean, I guess they had some metallurgy, but they did not have iron, or even, I don't think they were making any weapons or anything out of bronze. They may have been working bronze, but for other things. I mean, their weaponry was obsidian, mostly, which is gnarly. And, yeah, it's wild. The Aztecs were crazy. Let's first check this expedition logbook.
We strayed from the route marked on our map, driven further afield by painted men with savage intent. Tonight, for reasons I cannot fathom, we have been granted a brief reprieve. Our hunters halted at the edge of this marsh, unwilling to pursue. They watched from the trees as we threaded the narrow band of solid ground between desert and swamp. I know not what they fear, but we must brave the unknown if we are to reach the encampment at the ziggurat. Through my spyglass, I see nothing ahead. The waters lie still, and the muddy banks between seem clear. Yet my nerves burn with the unmistakable sense of being watched. There is no one, no thing, but this silence feels alive. We have no choice but to run for it.
Love it. Alright, well, we can talk to Zarka.
I will tell your tale, Jingak. Return someday, and you might hear Risu tell it in my place.
So Risu will train as a tail woman. That's good.
Do not wander.
Utzaal is close. Be careful. The Vaal heavily relied on the use of corruption. Their lands may still be dangerous.
Almost certainly.
Greetings.
Nothing more to say? Then let's carry on.
A swamp full of
well.
mosquitoes and ticks. Still, better than sand and heat.
I'm missing something. Give me a sec. I have Contagion, Profane Ritual, and I should have my Curse up here. Let me plug that in. Yep. Right. I don't have the gas arrow, so I think, 'cause I don't know.
Away!
Let me quickly check what my skill situation is. It's been a little while, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I was unimpressed with the Spectre. Let me tell you, Spectres are good. I have that on another character. Not this one specifically, but there's some cool cool things you can do with Spectres.
I will dispel you!
But I'm not Spectre for minions, so of course it was going to be relatively ineffective. So I think I can remove this one from my skill bar. Don't really need it. But we have Despair here. I was using Enfeeble with Blasphemy, so let me quickly check here. We need to make sure something's... I only have 30 Spirit, that's the problem. I can't even run Blasphemy right now. You need 60 Spirit, so I need to have a Scepter in order to even do that. I think we can get by without the Scepter for the moment, because there will... I'm assuming there's going to be other ways to get more Spirit. I know there's other ways to get more Spirit. There's amulets that can give Spirit, and you can get Spirit modifiers on items. So we'll just have to wait on that. I think for now, I will move the Decaying Hex onto Despair here, and... yeah. Withering Presence? I could drop Withering Presence. I would have to remove this gem from it, and then we can at least have that going. So can I... that wouldn't work. We can put Wither... that's actually interesting. So we could drop that instead of Envenom. I don't think Envenom's going to be super useful on Essence Drain. And Swift Affliction here. So... 20% less duration of supported skills and damaging ailments they inflict. Supported skills deals 30% more non-ailment damage over time. We'll need to check that. Anyways, we're doing okay at the moment, so... we'll just have to, yeah, like, that's making them die pretty quick. So they actually come out of the marsh here. Bogfeld commoners. So I guess these were the peasants that fled, but not fast enough. Oh god. Not too bad. Oh, that's a, okay. Not taking much damage.
Quick.
Alright, now it's taking damage. We're getting the, wither ramped up. Okay. Very doable. We'll hold on to these. Okay, so they summoned these flies. I think I want to try and make a specter out of that. My, minion character.
Suffer and die!
I don't know if that works, but that would be really cool if it did. Okay. And my clear is not super fast, but it's good enough. It's doing its job. What do we got there? One of these, oh, dredge fiend. It's not a Spriggan. Looks like a Spriggan. Probably is a Spriggan, but like a swamp Spriggan or something. Sorry, I don't know what I was aiming at there. Beautiful. So there's quite a few things to discover here, so let's explore. There's 3 landmarks. There's a hanging tree, some other tree-related thing, and something else that I've forgotten. I reckon we'll know it when we see it. I do not need to be cursing this much. Okay, I will be cursing there, for obvious reasons. Down pretty fast, actually. The contagion is amazing with the clearing.
Wither away.
And strictly speaking, I do not need to be spamming the essence drain. I'm just doing it because we're yeah, I can. I have the mana for it. It's the curse that's docking my mana, and then whenever I use profane ritual as well. But, like, otherwise, easy enough. So, this is probably something. A little village. Okay, very eerie looking. Ah, this is the hanging tree, huh? Ugh, gross. That just shot out of his, like, gut. Disgusting. Pearl ring. Well, we have one of these already. It's a lot of cast speed. It's not bad. That might be something to craft. Cast speed is pretty good. It's pretty big. If you're a damage-dealing caster, it is, I don't want to say it's necessary, but you definitely want to invest in it if you can. There is a lot of damage potential. Something. And you're about to die. Goodbye. Beautiful. Ah, I love seeing the bodies fall. let the bodies hit the floor. That brings me back to high school. Ah, what a wretched time that was. Should actually be contagioning the weaker ones. Then it can spread quicker. Sometimes you don't have too many options. That seems like a good place for a profane ritual. How do we do?
Suffer
die.
and die!
There we go. Look at that. I can't wait to have my Doom Blast back. Could actually just re-equip it, I realized, but we're doing fine. Oh. What's that? Everything dying, that's what it was. Sounds good to me. Guys. Honestly, the big enemies are not taking any longer than, like, these little guys. The little guys would go faster if I were to actually, like, despair them, but it's not usually worth the mana to despair them unless you can get, like, a big old mob of them. A lot of them. Cool area. I like swamp biomes. What are you? Dredge. Ah, you're the tree boss. I need to be standing close to you, actually. Get those wither stacks. Out of mana. That's not good. Let's not die here. Yep. Okay, we're doing alright. Its health bar is decreasing rapidly. Anything to die. No. Early. Yep, that'll do. Oh, hi. You summoned a, one of these pick things. Can I get a curse there? Fantastic. I'm gonna get some damage in. Right. Get rid of these guys. Any second. There you go. Alright, goodbye. That was not too bad.
What a noisy tree.
Hello. Now we're talking. Alright. What is top priority here? I think probably Essence Drain, though Contagion is going to be pretty top priority as well. I think we're going to first... Yeah, look at that. That is cool. Uncut Skill Gem. I want to get Dark Effigy. That is a thing that I want. So I'll leave Blasphemy in there. I'm going to remove the Skeleton Sniper. I'm not going to be using these at any point, I think. We could Scatter Shot, or I could drop... What could I do, actually? Can you Scatter Shot? This is a projectile totem. So, in theory... Never mind. You can Envenom. And Poison on hit. Clarity's not going to matter. It's not going to do anything here, so we're going to ignore that. I guess I'll Scattershot the Essence Drain, which just means I'm going to be able to hit multiple people with Essence Drain immediately. There's nothing else to do here, so we'll keep exploring around. We're looking for, did we get one or two of the landmarks? We got two. The Hanging Tree, indeed. So, we're looking for the Auroch Campfire. We're looking for some sort of,
Wither away.
settlement. The Aurochs, the locals? Would they be friendly? Something tells me the locals in this place aren't going to be friendly. But there were some, what sounded like explorers from the little, log.
Pathetic creation.
Oh, we've leveled up. Nice. So with the Essence Drain being able to, like, chain and do the scatter shot, I'm not sure if this is going to be super good for bossing. This is going to reduce the damage potential, because you can still only get hit by one Essence Drain at a time. However, it might be that if you land multiple hits from an Essence Drain, that, it could be that it will proc the Wither multiple times, which would be pretty good. Okay, this totem is cool. Okay. Sick. How much does it cost? It's not that expensive. Alright. I like it. Yeah, you just drop that down and it does a number. Fantastic. I have a lot of abilities, so I need to, you know, make sure that I am using them right. I think in most situations you can get by with only using a few of them. Like, you don't really need to use the full arsenal. But I reckon if you can get everything landing correctly and just go use your entire arsenal against a boss, its health bar will melt pretty quick. So I definitely want to try that out. You know, dropping the curse, hitting him with contagion, putting down a dark effigy. You know, if there's dead enemies around, you can hit the profane ritual as well, and then of course Essence Drain. Anyways, let's check the skill tree here. So, what were we doing? What were we doing indeed? More energy shield wouldn't be bad. 70% increased energy shield from equipped helmet might not be terrible. This would also be pretty good. 5% of damage taken bypasses energy shield? Never mind. If we're going to do Chaos Inoculation, that's a terrible idea. That's just die instantly. Which is not what I want. Where were we going? What were we doing? Ah, we were here. Extra area of effective curses. 8% increased curse magnitude as well, and enemies you curse are hindered, reducing their movement speed. Sounds fantastic for kiting. So we're going to be doing that. So we'll head to the left here, see if we can find this campfire. Whatever might be in store for us there. Nope, just a random peninsula. I love swamp maps. I like desert maps as well, as I mentioned in the previous act. So if there's more swamps in this act, I'm gonna be happy. I should probably be cursing. But okay, that was completely unnecessary. It was already dead. But should either curse or dark effigy. Or we can do both. That's it. Yeah, that's a little bit of a difference there. These guys, it's not necessary. Hold on. This is actually a new enemies. I don't know what that was. Okay, it's just a one that unleashes fire. Okay, down it goes. Got kind of a salt marsh vibe, a little bit. It's pretty cool. Auroch, okay. Guess they're unfriendly. And I suppose we're approaching the campfire. Auroch, Shaman of Buffering. Alright. Guess we're in the right place. So yeah, with the, like, shotgun essence drain, the contagion is a bit less necessary unless you're dealing with a big mob. What I mean. Still might as well do it. Ah, almost died. So we have one of these...
Straight to it then. The hunt begins. Ah, you sensed it too, did you? The spirit is near.
One of these wisps. Let's see where it goes.
Don't let up.
does go slower if you are not close to it, so it's always good to maintain a bit of distance from it, not get too close to it unless you're not having to deal with enemies. Okay, if it goes red, then you have a problem. So it actually led us to the campfire, I would reckon. Yeah, indeed, that's handy. Okay, we have a boss, a mini-boss.
It's getting stronger.
And now he's juiced up. Oh, there's two of them. Great. And they're both juiced up. Fantastic. But we're doing pretty good here. Okay, so this spirit seems to create a little bit of a dangerous area. But,
Death is my power to wield.
We're a good hunt.
that were a good hunt.
No.
That went pretty well, if I do say so myself. Let me shuffle my inventory. Sell stuff in a bit. I'll definitely be taking that, because that's worth 2 Artificer Orbs. Let's talk to him.
I see you don't hang about. Nice work on that hunt. Name's Delwyn. Hope you're friendlier than the Ezamites I've met so far. Though, seeing as you've not tried to cave my head in yet, I'd say we're off to a fine start.
Mm-hmm. What is this spirit? I already know this because other characters have run into him. He shows up basically in the first real zone you go into. So not the, like, intro zone, but right after. In the Fellwood, I think, he can show up already. So I ran into him with some of those side characters.
You've already had your first hunt with the spirit. Never known it to manifest so openly. Heard tell of it, aye. But even in the stories, it weren't like this. Our elders spoke of a time when the spirit moved among us, seeking out Rathin, corruption, in the modern tongue, and guiding our hunters to it so they could cleanse the land.
Ah.
Seems it's doing the same now, but more often, more urgent.
I wonder why.
Rathin's spreading. The spirit's calling us to act. Question is, will you answer?
Yeah, sure, why not? Forms of the spirit. So I didn't read the dialogue things with my other characters because I want to keep my reaction to the actual lore, which is what I'm here for, with this series, fresh. Forms of the spirit.
Most wisps are small flickers of the spirit, drawn to Rathin like moths to flame. But some burn brighter and seek out only the strongest. You'll know them by their orange glow, bright as embers in the dark. They're not easy to bring down, but I reckon you can handle yourself.
Let's keep a lookout for orange spirits. I guess there's, yeah, the different, like, colorations are gonna determine what they are. What's the spirit's will?
Ain't my place to question the spirit. I follow where it leads. But right now, seems to me it's guiding us to rid the land of Rathin. Follow a wisp and you'll see. It lingers, almost like it's waiting on you.
Yep.
But best be careful. Wherever the spirit treads, Rathin stirs, fighting back, like a wounded beast that won't go down easy.
Tracking a wisp.
Following him ain't as simple as just keeping pace. Chase a wisp, and you'll find every beast it touches turns meaner, stronger, more ferocious than before. Seems like the Rathin in him don't take kindly to the spirit's presence, like a fire raging hotter when the wind picks up. Regardless, the spirit always settles on one in particular. That's the real threat. But don't think the rest will be easy pickings, neither.
Yeah, indeed. So, when you see one of these spirits and get close to it, it starts to retreat from you. If you go closer to it, it moves faster. If you go further away from it, it slows down. Once it starts flashing red, you need to get closer to it again, though, because otherwise it'll vanish. And it'll basically just fly through the map, and any of the basic enemies that it gets near will become touched by it, and they will indeed get stronger. And then it'll find a rare or a mini-boss to go into, and that's where the spirit will settle, and that spirit will become possessed by the spirit, which will have some cool abilities, like the cat summoning thing that this one had, because it was the cat spirit. And they have a chance of dropping some special stuff, as far as I'm aware. I've found one thing, so the chance of it doing so seems to be rather low during the campaign, but, I mean, it's a fun fight, regardless. Adds a little bit to the rare enemies that you fight, and I reckon it increases the rarity of the drop tables, regardless. I mean, I don't know for certain, but there's a good reason to do it. What about the missing Asmeri?
I'm looking for someone. An Asmeri, like myself. Heard folks say one might have been taken prisoner in these parts a few moons past. You seen anyone like that? No. Suppose I'll have to keep looking then. Wanted to ask her why she... Oh, forget it. She's not here. That's all I needed to know.
He is referring to the Huntress. She is Asmeri. That's the new character they added that you can play. I really like that the various characters seem to have some connection point to someone in the story, and I wonder if they're going to do that with all of them. I think that would be really cool if, like, regardless of which character you play, you'll have somebody that knows who you are somewhere. Like the blacksmith, Renly knows the warrior, because he was the Karui foundling that washed up on shore. And this guy, Delwyn here, knows the Huntress. It'd be interesting to see who knows the witch. If they do that. It would be cool. Tell me about Asmeri traditions.
We Asmeri always kept to ourselves. Never troubled the world. And it never troubled us. At least, not till our ancestors took in the Vaal. And folks still bicker over whether that were a mistake.
Yeah, probably.
But that were then. Now, the spirit itself calls on us to look beyond our own. Who are we to ignore its will?
Yeah. They're basically an ancient
Sharp eyes,
people,
steady hands.
shamanistic. They dwell within Rayclast, specifically within the forests and jungles. And as he said, they're quite isolationist. The camp that you encounter in Path of Exile 1 in Act 2 with Aramir and Yina and Silk, those are all Asmeri. Look at that, another one. Well, okay then. Contagion. I need some upgrade gems, I think. I don't need any of this, though. So let's continue on. We finished the campfire, so now we're just going to look for our way out of here. Or some more baskets.
Wither
here.
away! A beautiful murder!
So were the Auroch Vaal? Not sure. Can't really tell. They don't look too Aztec. Ooh, an essence. Nice. Very good. So, take my... I'm gonna kill this one first. I'm not gonna fight two rares at once. Well, I probably could. I just don't feel like risking it. The essence enemies can be a bit tricky. So, and besides, it's gonna summon a bunch of other mooks in the same process. Oh, it's literally a tiny little wasp. Okay, I could have. That would have been fine. Never mind. This new... Yeah, that is indeed a new flask. It is a minion flask, though, so that's not super useful to me. I actually want to check what this thing's going to do. Fire damage, not useful to me. How about these gloves? They have a good... that's not necessarily bad. That could be good. 18 energy shield. 61 max life is thus far better. This might be worth crafting. Then again, it's the same baseline gloves. We're going to find better gloves in this area, I reckon. In which case, it's probably not worth crafting right now. I think I'm just going to ditch the belt, because I need the space here. Let's move all of this stuff over there, and we can grab the Hunter's Hood, so that I can get those damn Regal recipes. We need to find a way out of here. The swamp can't be a nice place to walk through. As much as I like it aesthetically, I wouldn't want to be here. Especially not with enemies.
Wither away!
This is not the way out. So I need to go back up there. Presumably back all the way up that way. Let's get to the next town. It's always you have to go through one little area before you get to the next town, so presumably after we go through here, we'll reach whatever the town of this act is. There we have it already. They don't look too good. Yeah, Ziggurat encampment. This must be it. Lovely. Look at that. That looks grim. The Vaal brought upon maybe the first cataclysm. There may have been one beforehand. I reckon there probably was. This has been going on for a while.
Treasure hunters, greedy scoundrels. I like it here.
Alva? Is that Alva Valai? Yeah, that's 100% her. Awesome. Okay. Backstory for her. She's a treasure hunter of Vaal descent, but I believe she's Oriathan. And you encounter her in the... Or you encountered her in the... I can't remember the name of the league, but it's basically one where she can use her blood to go back in time. And within these specific Vaal sites where they were constructing these temples. And you would go and kill one of the architects working on the temple. And in response, the other architect would then have his vision of the temple be made manifest. And after you do this a certain amount of time, you can basically go back to the actual temple itself, and the different rooms of the temple will have been determined by which architects survived. So basically the ones you didn't kill. And then you would go through this big, like, temple dungeon, and the, how that dungeon was laid out and the rewards that it could offer and all that type of stuff were always dependent on all those different times you went back in time to kill the architects. It was a really cool league. It was very hard because you had limited time. You were on a very short timer when you were doing the quick temple runs to kill the architects, and if you failed to kill an architect, then yeah, tough luck. And then the actual, like, final temple run, you had, you know, it was basically a map, so you had six attempts, and those rooms could get pretty gnarly. And the final boss was a menace. But it was cool, and she was a cool character. You know, every league brought in a new character, and I feel like most of the characters they brought in for those leagues were really cool. Some were a bit more memorable than others. Honestly, they were all relatively memorable. I hope they bring back more of the league content as well. So I wonder if this is going to involve her doing that. Anyways, let's talk to her.
Oh, hello. I'm Alva Valai. We can always use another pair of hands around here. Be sure to talk to Oswald, as he usually likes to greet the newcomers. In any case, welcome.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to her first, you know, which is probably, like, you know, it's cultural tradition in a lot of cultures, and maybe also in some of the Path of Exile cultures to, of course, address the man first, but which is not abiding by that. Like, let's be real here. Yeah, what about the Ziggurat encampment? What is this place?
This little excursion here represents my lifelong ambition. It's not just about finding treasure. I want to build an entire archaeological society someday. Rayclast has countless layers of history buried beneath it, and I aim to uncover every last bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good.
I intend to call my group the Reliquarians. A bit ostentatious, but the best things should be. A shame I couldn't have founded it a few decades ago, back when my birthplace Oriath was still a thriving city. Thanks to the Templars, relics from a dozen different cultures found their way to that little island over the centuries, and are now all lost, thanks to the disasters that happened there.
Yep. I mean, what I like about her, she's quite jovial and fairly nice, but she's still very morally gray. Like, what she's doing, in principle, you know, unearthing history, that's not a bad thing, but she's doing it in a very, like, 1800s British style, which is plundering historical treasures from other cultures to, you know, compile them in one place herself, which is, you know, it's a little bit immoral, you know. People should be entitled to their own goddamn history, but, you know, this is, we're living in a different time, you know, in some ways at least, and, you know, back then, such moral misgivings are much more excusable. You know, you don't know. The search.
So you're looking for a device the Vaal intended to use against the Cataclysm. Ah, so that's why you came here. Well, you're on the right trail. The ziggurat on which we stand was rumored to contain a device to save their people.
Interesting.
If you want to explore it, you'll have to find a way to drain the city first.
Oh. Okay. What is this device?
It's hard to guess what the device inside the temple might be. I do know that it was commissioned by Queen Etziri's thaumaturge, Doriani himself. The project was given all the resources it needed, and the work was kept secret.
Oh.
Even from Etziri.
Interesting.
As best I could translate, they claimed using it might mean abandoning all they had built. They seemed to view it as a last resort, a way to save their legacy if all else failed. It's not often I detect fear in Vaal writings, but they definitely hoped they would never have to use it.
Okay, I'm gonna let her talk about Doriani and Etziri. Maybe she'll say it before I need to. Two very important characters in the grand scheme of things. You hear a lot about Doriani, and of course you actually fight Etziri in PoE 1. You hear a lot about Doriani because he was the, I believe Doriani taught Doedri Darktongue, or at least Doedri Darktongue used Doriani's knowledge of thaumaturgy to learn her own thaumaturgy, and then she taught Malanthae, who was basically the villain of the first half of the game. Or one of the major villains, anyways. He was the one trying to control the beast. But let's hear what she has to say about them. What about Doriani?
By their final days, the Vaal were a deeply tiered empire based on brutal competition. Those at the top vied with each other through any means necessary, and Doriani was the foremost among these ambitious and immoral men. He was second only to Queen Etziri herself. Utzaal was the seat of his power, and ancient writings claim he undertook a vast array of strange projects and sordid experiments here. Some glyphs I have seen are too stomach-churning to discuss.
So a bit of a monster. That checks out. I think most people that go into thaumaturgy are pretty monstrous. Not as bad as Queen Etziri, though, probably.
How do I even begin to describe the last Queen of the Vaal? She left a tremendous mark on history. She was intelligent and capable enough to rule unquestioned over a bloodthirsty empire of volatile nobles, and the people adored her and feared her in equal measure. Vaal writings speak of her as the most beautiful woman in the era, but also the most dangerous. She sought eternal life, and she was willing to sacrifice anything to achieve it. The ruins around you are the result of those ambitions.
Yep.
Sometimes while I'm looting a temple, I remember that everything we find once belonged to a living, breathing person that probably died horribly. That sort of takes the fun out of it, doesn't it?
I love it. She has, like, the moral awareness to realize what she's doing is kind of wrong, but is like, well, they're all dead anyways. Yeah. Etziri triggered the Vaal cataclysm in basically the same way Malanthae did later. So Malanthae followed in her footsteps and triggered the cataclysm that brought down the Eternal Empire. Etziri did the same thing to the Vaal. It didn't quite have the same results because the Eternals, just as a civilization, were much more infused with thaumaturgy than the Vaal were. The Vaal, there were only a few that were actively participating in thaumaturgy, which means the effects on those individuals were pretty monstrous, but the rest of the Vaal civilization just kind of died as a result. Whereas with the Eternals, because of the proficiency of, or the prevalence of virtue gems, which was basically them turning thaumaturgy into a science. It's also where we're getting our skill gems from. Much of the Eternal Empire's populace had been functionally grafted with virtue gems, which caused the Eternal Empire not just to die, but to undergo a rather hideous transformation, becoming the Undying. What about the Beast?
I've heard of the Beast. Everyone has. If someone is truly trying to raise another, then they must be the grandest of fools. These very ruins around us are the result of an attempt to control such a thing. This is the only way it can end.
Some people don't care, though. What do you think of the hooded one?
That hooded fellow over there, he's a friend of yours, I take it? Seems to be one of few words. Oh well, I'm not one to judge the company you choose to keep. Oswald's gonna lose his wits if any more of you show up, though.
Okay, so Oswald's in charge. The jungle.
Something tells me you're the exploring type. We've got that in common. But some places even I steer clear of. I rather enjoy being alive, you see. Still, if you're feeling adventurous, there's fortunes to be made out there in the wilds. I'm especially interested in all things related to the Vaal. For academic reasons, of course.
Of course.
But a bit of treasure never goes amiss.
Alright.
Plenty of choices.
Okay, you're a gambler. Very nice. Lots of new, cool-looking armor pieces. Vaal style. We've seen some of them already. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. Actually, I should sell, but I think I'll
Until next time.
yeah, identify everything
Her
before I do that.
positive attitude sickens me.
Her positive attitude sickens me. Alright, Malanthae, calm down. What about Oswald?
What kind of stunt was that, traversing the marsh? You have to be smarter if you're to survive. As quartermaster, I'll do my best to keep you alive.
Alright.
I can buy what equipment you find, or sell you what others have unearthed before we ship it back to Kingsmarch. If you disappear in the jungle, I'll also be the one to note your death in our logs. You're welcome.
Alright. Pleasant.
What a weak, blubbering fool.
She doesn't like anyone. Yeah, what does the hooded one say here?
Somewhere in this region there were sophisticated canals and waterways. We might be able to use them to drain this lake.
Aha.
We must hope that the mechanisms are still functioning, despite their age. It is the only way to reverse the drowning of this once thriving city. The first step in our search for the secret knowledge of the Vaal.
That would be the dam that he was mentioning. What about the Vaal?
It is strange to return to this place of my divine youth and see it so aged and forgotten. When I was here, the Vaal were the height of civilization, and the future was bright. They had their problems like any other people, but I thought I could free them from the moral hazards of divinity by removing gods from the equation.
Oh!
While we are here, I would like to discover whether this ruination is my fault, or whether something else happened to them.
So this is where he originated from. Sin came from the Vaal. I mean, that's fitting. And this is where he decided to remove the gods from the equation. Damn, so that implies Solaris and Lunaris are quite old. They were worshipped by the Eternals, but the Eternals only came after the Vaal, so the Eternals were only, like, worshipping the images of them, rather than actually worshipping the gods directly. I mean, that makes sense. That's what we as humans tend to do, considering, you know, there being a lack of any sort of evidence of divinity in the world around us, at least by a scientific perspective, which is the perspective that I personally ascribe to, but other people can, of course, find evidence in other things, and that's up to them. Let's identify the items, and I will sell everything that's irrelevant to Alva here.
After my own heart.
Actually, I need to do some other things.
That's quite pretty.
I think I'm going to let's talk to the other characters first, and then I'll do the remaining selling off screen. Let's talk to Servi here.
You're the one who waded to the undead in the marsh, eh? Truly, you need a guide. Luck's on your side today, friend. I am such a guide. Maybe I can help you survive. Not all tribes in his region are so friendly. You would be wise to listen to me on the dangers of the jungle. Yes, you are lucky indeed.
Okay. Apus? Not sure what that is.
Apus is my grandson. Can you believe that? A young spry thing like me. A grandmother. Don't be answering that. Apus inherited my son's rowdy spirit. Maybe it's a family curse. We have always been the type to do what we shouldn't, like helping outsiders such as yourself. One day, he'll be a great man, just like his father. Until then, I try to keep him safe.
Where is he? What's local knowledge?
Knowledge is a form of power, I suppose.
Oh, hold on.
Everything
cool.
here can kill you. A snake you can't see, a strange plant, even one of your own. Survival in the jungle depends upon learning the lessons from those who died before you. That's the wisdom of my tribe. And since these treasure hunters pay me so well, I don't mind sharing. Ha ha! Any place you want to know about, come to me with questions, and I will tell you what I know.
Alright. He's quite the character. What about this place? The jungle ruins. The bountiful fields of the city of Utzaal are now nothing but tangled jungle. We're searching for the Matlan waterway, so that's probably that.
The jungle ruins are full of deadly creatures, you know. Quadrillas can tear a man apart in seconds, but at least you can hear them coming. The real danger? The apes that drop down from above. Life is plenty here, thriving for generations. But death always comes for the careless.
I thought she was going to say the real danger is the drop bears, aka the koalas, which I do very much appreciate that in PoE 1 there was a monstrous koala enemy. And even a monstrous koala mini-boss. It was glorious. Okay.
Still alive.
Good to know. I guess we can talk to Oswald a little bit more. Dude, Malanthae has nothing to say about her. Okay, I guess she's tolerable.
Yes?
What do you have to say about the ziggurat encampment?
The ziggurat beneath us was once the temple of the sun god. One of the oldest built in the city of Utzaal's religious district. It was in active use for at least 1,000 years. But when the Vaal cataclysm struck, the city flooded, presumably killing everyone inside. Good thing for us, because this lake is the only reason it hasn't been ransacked by other treasure hunters already. One man's mass death is another man's treasure, I suppose.
What about the treasure hunters?
I log everything here, so I can catalogue the thousands of ways to die the jungle offers. If you can, be sure to write some sort of final entry detailing how you die. The death log won't benefit you, of course, but it will certainly benefit me.
At least he's honest about it.
I don't mean to be overly fatalistic, but the amateurs coming from Kingsmarch are accomplishing nothing but feeding the chimerals. The most I can do, as quartermaster, is ensure they're equipped for exploration. That's where the real profit in treasure hunting is, you see.
Ah.
I don't go out there if I can help it. I'm the unluckiest man alive. Yet, I'm the wealthiest in this camp. You have to be good when you're trading with the Kalgurans, or they'll fleece you.
Kalgurans. So Kalguran, they're the society that these guys are from, I guess. Basically, this setting's British. Kingsmarch.
Ah, Kingsmarch.
Yeah.
So called by the Kalgurans. They're newcomers to Rayclaws.
Okay.
About 20 years now. They're traders by nature. In fact, they've partially funded this very expedition. For some reason, they're very interested in Vaal artifacts. We ship most of what we find back to Kingsmarch, and they pay handsomely for it.
That being said, His name is Oswald. Oswald is a very Germanic name, which leads me to think he's probably Azamite rather than King's March. Unless the King's Marchers are related to the Azamites. It's also possible. What do you do? Okay, you're our basic vendor. Good to know.
If you hear a click, duck.
Okay.
What do you need?
Okay, you're a disenchanter.
Take your time.
Just quickly checking to see if there's anything good here.
Be wary.
I'll check that later. Forging bench. Destroys 3 similar items to be reforged as a new item. Is that what we can do with those runes? Or can you also do it with, like, basic items? Something to, test. Sure. Well, lots of things to salvage. Alright, and we have Oswald's death journal.
Clements Trenowith. Days survived. 202. Head eaten by the animated corpse of Florence Cayley.
Okay.
Martin Henshaw. Days survived. 178. Touched a vibrant flower. Screamed until he twisted into a misshapen pile.
That sucks.
Osman Lakin. Days survived. 45. Bitten by a snake on the ankle. Legs swelled up to 3 times the size.
Ugh.
Servi attempted to amputate, but baby snakes burst out of the cutting, and we immediately set him ablaze. Should have slit his throat first. Sorry, Osman.
That's awful.
Sybil Launcelane. Days survived. 2. Died of old age shortly after arriving. Rather traumatizing, that one. I was telling her one of my best stories when the ancient bat simply keeled over. Florence Cayley.
Ah, this is one that
They survived. 201. Stabbed through the heart by the animated corpse of Osmond Shipwash.
Osmond wasn't the one that got bitten by Florence, right?
Jacob Nesbitt. Days survived. 12. Climbed a tree to get a better view. Slipped, fell, and was caught by a hanging vine. Neck snapped instantly.
Merciful.
Gregory Trenowith. Days survived. 202. Heart attack from grief after burning the animated corpse of his wife.
That sucks.
Jeffrey Mond. Days survived. 59. Vanished in broad daylight from the middle of our encampment. Strike that. Corpse found in a tree high above. Suspended by an unidentifiable sticky substance.
Okay.
Florence Cayley. Days survived.
Yeah.
201.
Alright.
Stabbed through the heart.
It's repeating some stuff here. I like, they had the death logs, or the, it wasn't a death log, it was like a sentencing log for the exiles in Act 1 of the first game. Those are fun to listen to. Anyways, I'm gonna do some buying and selling and maybe equipping of gems, but I'll do that off screen so as not to take too much time. Okay, so I have moved some of the skill gems around. So Essence Drain, I have put the Envenom back on along with Chain and Scattershot. I'm not sure if Envenom works here, but it says it does, so I guess we can look and see. Contagion, I have put on Profanity here, so it will consume corpses. I don't have anything else to do with corpses, so I may as well. That'll make it deal 30% more chaos damage, so that'll be alright. It's not a huge amount of chaos damage, but that will increase the DPS. It might be better to use that on a more potent thing, but at the moment, so I have Dark Effigy with Withering Touch on it now, because this thing's just going to automatically apply it, so I don't need to spam Essence Drain as much. And Acceleration, extra projectile speed. This is going to make it more likely to hit the targets with it. And I have put the Impending Doom back on Despair, and Profane Ritual I have kept as is. Though, I might move Swift Affliction here. Make Essence Drain do damage a little bit faster. Then again, maybe not. I don't know. I'll leave it as is. So, let's Go down. I want to... Oh, interesting. So it's the map is there for when you can drain the lake. It's just, the lake is there. Looks like very murky, algae-ridden water. Wouldn't want to swim in there. So, what's this way? Cool, encampment. I like it. I don't know if I like it as much as the Marraketh one, because that was just very unique. I think there's only one way for us to go, into the jungle ruins. We'll do that. The Marraketh, the caravan was quite unique, and that was very cool. But this one's also really cool. Wasn't the hugest fan of the, one in, the little village in Act 1. Nice and compact, but otherwise kind of boring.
This jungle has flourished since the
one's
fall
cool,
of the Vaal. Let it now know darkness.
Oh, hello.
I
See you
will
there.
put you down.
Antlion. You're not an antlion.
Suffer and die.
You're something else. Alright. Well, you're dead now, whatever you are. Hi. Okay. Nice. Oh, hello. So these are the quadrillas. See why they're called quadrillas. Literally gorillas, but with 4 arms.
Another cause to serve me.
Suede bracers. What do we got here? Evasion
Peculiar
rating.
but powerful.
North Paw. 21 evasion rating, 5 to 10 physical damage to attacks. It's a level 1 bracer, so this is definitely nice for a head start with the character, but... Base critical chance for attacks with weapons is 7%. I mean, that's kind of good. It's going to increase the base critical chance from... I think 5 to 7, although with some weapons it's more. So that might be a downgrade in some cases. I'm not sure. Definitely not one of those uniques that you can do a later game build around. This seems as nothing more than a head start unique. Anything down here? What are we looking for here, anyways? Okay, so there's a mighty silver fist. You see the silver fur, you run. Jungle grave. We're still keeping an eye out for Survey's son. Oh, that's... I mean, he could be at a grave, or he could be in the grave. That could be bad. Troubled camp. A few days overdue reporting back. Okay, so there's a camp out there. Something... I'm sure nothing bad happened to them. Oh, this might be the camp right here. In which case, maybe nothing bad did happen to them. They seem okay. I may as well...
How goes it?
Gwendolyn Albright's. Out here.
I could have gone my whole life without watching snakes coil around a corpse or getting pounded into the dirt by a homicidal ape. It's enough to make a girl question her career choices.
Oh, yeah?
Still, treasure keeps me coming back. You can't take 2 steps around here without tripping over some old Vaal ruin all tangled up in the undergrowth.
Yeah, it's quite everywhere, isn't it?
You won't
We can
find these in any old market.
buy and sell here. Anything good? Anything relevant? Not really. No. But hey, I can sell these.
Quite the find.
I think I will. What about Oswald and Alva?
They make an odd pair of colleagues, don't they? Oswald's the kind to worry about the jungle eating him, and Alva's the type to dare it to try. Perhaps that's why their partnership has been more lucrative than most. They balance each other out.
Yeah. Treasure hunters.
Survivors, half-wits, and the occasional lunatic. That's our expedition in a nutshell. Used to be, we were seasoned veterans out here. These days, if a newcomer lasts more than a week, it's a cause for celebration.
Grim.
Still, with the Kalgurans throwing coin around, plenty of folks are willing to risk their lives for a shot of the spoils.
Yep. Quadrillas.
Apes are one thing, but quadrillas? No, they're fearsome. The Vaal left these lands drowning in corruption after their cataclysm. Guess it twisted the creatures here into something unnatural.
Yeah.
Still, I can't help but think 4 arms could come in handy, wouldn't you say? No pun intended. Hope to see you soon.
Okay, you're just a guy. Oh, hello. What have we here? 33 energy shield. That is more energy shield than I currently have. The max life is less, as is the rarity. Resistances aren't terrible. Packs and cold... No, this isn't worth it. Scepter? I mean, on the off chance it's something good, if I could, I don't know, aim my scroll at it, that'd be great.
Still alive, I see. Rare find? Quite the find.
Get rid of him.
Take care.
Alright. Let's keep going. Nice that there's a little... Oh, God! About to say, it's nice that there's a little, vendor here.
You are already doomed.
Am I? I think you're already doomed. Okay. Feel like possessed by snakes. It's nice. Guess this is what happens when the snakes crawl within you. As that death log mentioned. Vein sap? Okay. Oh, okay, okay. Metal ants. Cool. Get good, scrubs. Feral primates. Ah, the monkeys. I remember them from Game 1. Act 2. Opening zone. Very annoying. So you kill one of them and they'd all fucking run away and then come back. It was very annoying to fight them. Most of the time you just kill the big ones and ignore the rest. You know, hit them with AoEs when they come back. Aside from that, they didn't do that much damage, so... What have we here? Some sort of big hole in the ground? Some kind of... Oh, God. It's bugs. Lots of them, too. Well. It's cool. Like a little insect ambush, subterranean ambush here. That was fun. Artificer orb. Very nice. Decent amount of gold. Let everything die. Yes, good. Okay, another one down. Get on over here. This one's already been infected somehow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Double. Good. Hold on. I have a bit of a problem. Up skill gem level 9. Very nice. Level something up. Alright. What do we want to level up? I think I want to level up Essence Drain. We got ourselves a wisp. Let's go. Let's do it.
Good eye. Let's run this wisp down.
Oh, you gonna possess this one? Yes, that was clutch. Okay.
Wither away!
No, we don't have to chase it.
We're wearing it down. Don't let up.
It's going down pretty fast. Got Shroud Walker, so it can kind of phase in and out. But it doesn't stand a chance. Okay. Already solid. Anything new to say?
Stay at your business.
No. And we leveled up, so... What do we do now? We need more chaos damage. That is for sure. Could also do with some more energy shield. But, so there is chaos damage to be had over here. There's extra chaos damage. And then we can do more curse business up here. I want to... So if we can use this one. 30% increased curse duration. Enemies cursed by you have a 50% reduced life regen. Enemies cursed by you cannot recharge energy shield. This is 40% faster curse activation. Your curses have a 20% increased effect if 50% of the curse duration expired. That's pretty good too. Going down here wouldn't be bad either. So I might actually swing by, grab this, grab that, and then swing back up here and grab this node here. Chaos Inoculation's right there anyway, so we're going to have to go up there before too long. Now, Volatility. Volatility detonates after 4 seconds, dealing 100 physical damage to you per volatility. For 10 seconds after detonation, you gain 1% of damage as chaos for each volatility which detonated. The detonation timer will reset on gaining another stack of volatility. Volatility can be gained once every 0.1 seconds, and volatility does not normally have a maximum, though some effects can set one. So you're just taking a lot of damage, but basically it's juicing up your chaos damage. I feel like that can just kill you for not that big of a bonus. I don't know if this is good. I reckon if you have like really high... So this can set to a maximum of 30. Which means you take 3,000 damage. Like that's... I'm dead. If that goes off. Ooh, +1 level to all chaos skills. And we have some good energy shield here. With slower recharge rate. Or start of recharge. So that it does come with a drawback. I do like that some of these come with drawbacks. I think that's, that is cool. That's also not bad. Arcane Intensity. We can have a lot of mana. Arcane Intensity could be pretty good. Boy. Choices, choices. I like having choices. This would not be bad. That's actually really good. Maybe I go up this way. Maybe we take the highway down from up here. Can always... Yeah, then we could do this stuff first, and then drop down through there. Yeah, that's going to be more efficient than coming up if we're already coming from this direction. So I'm actually just going to take some... There's also this. No, we don't want that. I think I'm just going to take some more intelligence. We'll do that. Keep it very basic. Let's keep exploring. We'll do this in this episode, and then continue on in the next one. Alright. So I think I want to switch buttons here. This will be my curse. Alright. We'll open up with the mouse bumper here. Yeah, this is much more intuitive than I was doing before.
Out of mana.
Okay. Kind of just walking around randomly here. Hoping we find something. We have some sort of big silver-furred, was it a quadrilla? Probably. Silverback, right? That's an actual, monster in real life. Silverback to gorilla. Oh, hello. Logbook. Oh. Ambush first. Ruby Charm?
The aura.
Nope.
Drain.
Can I actually touch
The
it?
Auroch are truly terrifying to behold. I suspect their canine features result from genetic mutations, perhaps born of the cataclysms that reshaped these lands. Their tribesmen are savage. I rarely leave their territories without scars to show for it. Yet, they hold a knowledge we Oriathans have long since abandoned. Our high-born civilization prides itself on its advancements, but remains woefully primitive in matters of the spirit and the natural world. For all their brutality, the Auroch live in harmony with the forces of nature. And perhaps they have no choice. But I wonder if we are the fools for believing we've transcended it. Better to live with nature than to die defying it.
Yep.
I am the apex!
Yep, that's, I think, a good, good advice for the modern era as well. We are certainly defying nature, and at a certain point, we will die. It will fucking kill us. Maybe we should, I don't know, do something about this climate change problem before it's too late. It's probably already too late, but doesn't mean things can't be done to slow or at least counteract certain problems. My partner works in a climate scientist, which is pretty cool. Okay. More monkeys. Lots of monkeys. Did not need to curse there. That was misclick. Lots of misclick. I tend to spam click things, which results in me doing unnecessary actions and wasting a ton of mana. Did not need to be wasted. But, you know what? It's been okay. Hasn't gotten me killed too often. Every now and then, bound to. I have slightly less control over my fingers than the average person. Thanks to my silly nervous system. Oh god!
Incoming.
Ow. That's a lot of energy shield. That is now no longer there. Best dodge that, yeah. Good advice. Okay. Okay. Oh boy. We land some of these, okay, this is getting a little hog wild. Put up another one of these fucking, totems. Curse it. Okay, curse it.
You are already doomed.
Am I? Ow. Or is it? Probably. We're doing okay. This is a little bit, hog wild, though, not gonna lie. Doing good. Okay, I summoned the totem right in front of its smash path. Something about the
beast. This jungle produces fine servants.
Something about the attack animations of that was super intuitive for me. That was fun. That was a cool fight. I don't know. It felt very simple to dodge for me. I don't know. Maybe if you guys have fought that, let me know. Anyways, 2 skill points. Not gonna hear me complaining. Well, we want Whispers of Doom. That'll double the activation delay of curses. However, we will eventually get this. The double activation delay is going to be a bit of an issue. We don't need Whispers of Doom just yet because I can't afford the Blasphemy at the moment. So I think we'll first go for the Dark Entries. We can always just grab this whenever. Could get the Lingering Whispers too. Though I don't know if that's worth it, because we want to have the reduced curse duration because of the Hex Blast, right? So actually, having this with 30% increased duration might not be good. However, the reduced life regen and the inability to recharge energy shield can be clutch, because there are certain rare enemies that are absolutely obnoxious to fight. I remember from PoE 1, when they have super high life regen or energy shield regen, it is really annoying. So hampering that with just by cursing them doesn't sound like a bad idea. I could still keep the reduced duration just so that it doesn't extend the duration too long. But I will be getting, like, massive diminishing returns from that talent block, so I might need to then switch it around. What the hell are you? I have no idea what you are, but you're awful. You're some sort of snake monkey thing. Reminding me a bit of the Sekiro boss, just snake instead of centipede. Anyways, that went well. What have we here? Another Quadrilla. With the curse, it goes down so much faster. Look at that. That is a massive damage increase. Curses are fucking expensive, especially when I spam them. The way that I do, which is not ideal, but is what it is. And they're dead. We're looking for something. Not sure what we're looking for, but... There's a checkpoint here, but nothing... Maybe up this way. That might be what the checkpoint's for. Infested Barrens. You know what? I'm going to see if there is a waypoint here, and I'm just going to grab the waypoint. Infested Barrens. That is a cool name. Infested by what?
Bugs and insects.
Nah.
Delicious.
Where the jungle gives way to colonies and hives. There's no waypoint. Dead explorers here. I don't know if I want to leave this area yet. So I'm actually going to head back. I was kind of hoping there would be a waypoint immediately present there, but I guess there wasn't. Yeah, there's these bug holes here too, so this is actually a bit of nice foreshadowing for the next zone. I reckon that's we're going to be seeing more of that. Okay, we have another rare enemy here. Nice. Down they go. I like how many exalted orbs you get. Because that is so necessary for crafting, and the fact that there's no alteration orbs to reroll the base 2 modifiers means that the individual items that you do manage to get something good with are worth a lot more, which means I'm just glad that you can do the crafting much more frequently. Because exalted orbs were super rare in PoE 1, and it just meant, like, actually crafting an item from scratch was very rare to do. But in this, it's... Infection! I feel like most of the items that I have that are good have been either crafted from scratch or crafted from random blues that I've found. Every now and then you'll find, like, a proper good rare. Oh, here, hello. That's handy. Venom crypts. I think I want to keep exploring here, because there's still another thing that we gotta find. We gotta find the jungle grave, Survey's son. Check if he's okay. He's probably not, to be fair. I feel like nothing here is good. Although the explorers survived, so actually he probably is gonna be fine. The explorers can survive. Surely one of the locals should be able to do so as well. Okay. This is a cool zone. Not so swampy, but I like a good jungle map. I like it better than normal forest maps. Depending. The Fellwood was pretty cool. The dark forest with all of the, like, logging piles and everything all over the place. Act 1 had some good maps. I think I still prefer Act 2's biomes the most. Dark deserts. The boneyards and everything. That stuff was awesome. The Mastodon Graveyard. Ah, Jungle Grave. What's going on here?
I'd bring him back, but...
Oh.
He won't love her, like he did.
Okay. Ravaged corpse. Lifeless body sits brutalized and impaled. Summon survey. Oh boy.
This is my son. When he did not return from the jungle, I feared the worst. But I still had hope. The warring tribes have taken that hope away from me. Curse the Azak, curse the Orok, and curse this day.
Yeah.
Promise me, you will not tell Apus his father is dead. Let him remain a child for one more day.
I don't even know who Apus is. 2 charm slots. So this is how you get your extra charm slots from the belts, huh? Well, I'm gonna take that, because having an extra charm slot would be pretty solid. Though my belt is very good. So, not sure if I'm just gonna replace that. No. Well, at some point I'll find a belt with 2 charm slots that's, gonna be better. Well, nevertheless, I am sorry. That is, most unfortunate. Let's... So we have this, the Venom Crypts there. I'm not going to go into the Venom Crypts right now. We're going to head to the Infested Barrens, because I want to find a waypoint there before we end the episode, and then I can swing back to the Venom Crypts in the next episode as well, and we'll do the rest of the Infested Barrens. I'm not sure how big this area is, so... Let's quickly check the map. What's here? We're here. Oh, there's like multiple different paths we can. So the Infested Barren is armies march unseen under the earth. The bugs. Yeah, look at these like termite hives. That's cool. There will be another camp here. So the camp remains. Yeah, there's no X over it. That, I guess makes sense. We'll find another camp here. Aside from that, we can head to the Chimeral Wetlands from here. Beautiful but deadly. The Azak Bog. Death wears a mostly human face. And the Matlan Waterways, which is where we need to go. When the end came, the nobles flooded the city to spite would-be looters. Very nice. Very friendly. Well, let's continue on. Hi, guys.
Wither away!
And they've withered away. Oh, there's our waypoint. Okay. Can summon Alva right here. I'll quickly do this.
The optimist may know something of this.
The optimist. Oh man, witch is so sketchy.
The Vaal use this device to operate the mechanisms in the canal, but we would need a special artifact to power it. From the translations I've made, I believe they were called soul cores.
Okay.
I've never seen an intact soul core large enough for something like this, though. I suppose if you want to try find one, you could ask our guide, Servi.
What about the soul cores?
Death gems, blood crystals, or, more colloquially, soul cores. They were made by sacrificing living people and capturing their energies inside a crystal lattice.
Sucks to be that.
Some think the victims are still trapped inside, existing in eternal agony until someone drains the core's energy completely.
Just then using them.
There's no way to know that for certain, of course. It is rather chilling to think about.
Or like playful attitude towards, you know, these horrible things. It's funny. I like Alva, even if the witch does not. The Matlan Waterways.
These waterways are a series of canals the Vaal built on the upper edge of the city. The Great Matlan River didn't run quite this far south, but they diverted a portion of it for a complex irrigation system. That really allowed the city to thrive and the Vaal to flourish. Oh, I don't fully understand why they created a system that could flood the entire city.
Yeah, that's a bit weird, huh? The spillways.
From my understanding, it was a failsafe. A way to make sure their creations didn't get the better of them. Or the world. The Vaal really were a very intelligent and pragmatic people, you know.
Damn.
At the southeast edge of the city, there is a large dam. I've spent months trying to find a way to release the outer spillways, but to no avail. Those very walls are what keep the city flooded to this day.
Yeah.
Keep up the search.
You can lower those. Drain the city. All the water. Let's head back to the encampment and talk to Survey, and then we'll end the episode. Then we'll know what we need to do for the next one. Maybe. Ah, this waypoint on the little, like, tree root stone ruin island over the flooded city. It's probably like a top of a tower. Really cool.
We've been clashing with the Auroch tribe for generations, but their real fight is with the Azak, and them are losing. The Auroch worship the three-headed snake. Them poison the jungle, poison themselves, poison us too. Their shaman? Only seen her twice. She moved like a panther in the dark. The coward.
Okay.
Evil in the shadows, my friend. Evil in the shadows. If you find the source of their wickedness, you let me know. I must see it for myself to make an antidote.
Okay. You'd get something that I don't know in an Artificer's Orb.
Ah, so you're after blood crystals. The thing Alva call soul core. I knew you were going to be trouble. Out there in the dark, there's an ancient ruin. Very old indeed. My tribe has spoken of it for generations. We see strange creatures there, made of stone, unnatural, with unblinking eyes. That place, it is forsaken. I would warn you not to go there. But if it's so cause you seek, then take the risk you must.
Okay. Tell me about your son.
It hurt me deeply to find him there. To find him like that. Still, I thank you for finding his body. His spirit roams the jungle with his fathers now. The warring tribes, the Azak, the Auroch, they have a lot to answer for.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably be able to take them out. Maybe there's gonna be some more... Yeah, look at that. We got all kinds of knowledge here. Tell me about the infested barons.
You might think it no big deal, the hive broods living around there. But let me tell you, them no ordinary pests. Them are warriors, armies of crawling fiends. Them hide under the ground, waiting to ambush the unwary. If you see hives or nests, keep well clear.
Mm-hmm. What about the chimeral wetlands?
The wetlands are breeding grounds for the jungle's most vicious creatures. Pretty, it's true, with colors like sunshine and rain, but deadly all the same. Plenty of food treasure hunter head there, but never return, least not alive. Watch out for the flowers that move without a breeze. Them are serpents hiding in the jungle, spitting poison.
Maybe that's what happened to that
massive
one
flying
guy.
beast haunts that place. Some say it got the head of a lion. Others say it looks like a gore beast. Some talk about the tail like a Markev scorpion.
So a chimera.
But the truth, it doesn't matter. None from my tribe have ever set foot there in 43 seasons.
Okay. And the Azak Bog?
The Azak, them are true monsters. Not cannibals, no. But them will not hesitate to feed you to their war beasts. The Azak and the Auroch tribes been fighting almost as long as the Vaal been gone. But the Azak are beyond cruel. Their queen witch, Ignakdok, she takes her child every blood moon night. For what? I won't say. If you cross into their territory, Only death awaits you there.
Alright. Well, I reckon we'll be crossing into their territory and showing them what's what soon enough. As we will be heading into the Chimeral Wetlands to hunt down this Chimera. And of course, eventually figuring out our way into the Matlan Waterways. And, of course, there is still the, actually, you might be able to see that beneath the ground. Do you have lore on that? The Venom Crypts, the remains of the Temple of Yalmak, play host to countless deadly guests. Okay, well, we'll have to check that out as well. So we definitely have our work cut out for us. Quite a few options of where to go. I like that. I always like it when there's multiple paths you can pick. I mean, you'll go to them all eventually, but you get to kind of pick the order you do them in. It's fun. And we'll be doing that in the next episode, so stay tuned for that. Drop this video a like if you've enjoyed it. And, you know, leave comments if you have anything to say. Alright, everybody. I'll catch you in the next one. Heritor out.